Codex Necrons, 3rd edition, page 49. Written by Andy Chambers. Narrated by R.J. Bailey.
Transmitted Sperox 2569. Received Citadel of Justice, Terra. Date 56817553M41. Astropathic Duct, Thule Zind. Author Marshal Primus Rogel Sir. Title Intercepted Transcript. Thought for the day. Only in death does duty end.
A message transcript has but recently come into my possession, which I feel bears investigation at a higher level of authority. Acting on information gained through interrogation of members of the local underworld, my men and I were able to intercept an illicit landing in the Wilderlands outside Kuluk, on the northeastern continent of Lamia. The information, detailed below, was extracted from the cortical of a holomat courier, captured in the operation that followed. Identifying electors and metal residues on the holomat indicate that it was manufactured on the Forge World of Incaladian. The allegedly stolen holomat itself was removed by members of the cult Mechanicus within one work cycle of its retrieval, which was felt to be impressive considering they had not been informed of its presence at the precinct house. They are unaware that decryption of the servitor's storage functions took place prior to their arrival. I trust that it is apparent that the seriousness of the claims made caused me a great deal of concern. At the risk of appearing prejudicial, I am forced to conclude that some manner of schism or heresy is taking place within the ranks of the Adeptus Mechanicus. While the words of one heretic cannot be given too much credence, the very concept of a division among the tech priests bears rigorous investigation at source. I will pursue inquiries in the Gates of Val region and in Chaldean Forge World, but my resources are naturally limited in relation to the cult Mechanicus. In truth, this matter requires inquisitorial authority to resolve. Ars Justicatus, Rogel Sir, Marshal Primus, Sephiroth System.
Begin transcript. How dare you lay restraints upon a fellow of the cult Mechanicus? I demand immediate representation before the collegiate extremists and repatriation to Mars. You have no right.
Tech Adept Yovoki, you stand accused of techno-heresy, the employment of the black arts, inter alia technologica excommunicate, unclean worship of xenolore, and traffic with proscribed texts. Do you deny your guilt?
I refuse to participate in the theatrics you dogmatists are attempting to dress up as a legitimate trial. Take me to Mars and then we'll see who's the guilty one.
Your request is denied and a plea of ineffable guilt duly entered to the record. Questioning shall proceed. Discomforting stimulus will be employed to elicit a response if you continue to be intractable. Why did you leave Mars?
You think I fled, don't you? You think I was trying to escape, but you're wrong. There are more of us than you can imagine, many more. We heard the words of Cortis Wayne, and we knew that the resurrection was nigh. He is but a harbinger of the times to come.
What resurrection do you reference?
If you weren't so ignorant, you'd know. The Ancient Ones are returning. The true spirit of the machine is upon us.
Silence! Your blasphemy will not be tolerated here, of all places. What are these Ancient Ones you speak of?
The Ancient Ones are the Necrons, and their living gods. Their stasis tombs are everywhere, but you don't see it. Just dead worlds to be investigated. Ha! It was their science our ancestors plundered. We who understand shall venerate them upon their return.
You deliberately test our patience in hopes of termination. Your lies will not succeed.
I have crept into the forbidden zones. Can you say the same? I have walked with tremulous steps where the very highest authorities of our order proclaim it is death to stand, and I have seen the truth behind the lies your dogmatists espouse. I will never be lied to again, for I have seen the face of God.
Blasphemy! Your self-aggrandizing claims have no basis in scientific fact. It is the consideration of this body that you have turned to the worship of chaos, and your sanity is lost.
Wrong! Wrong! Chaos is but a shadow of this realm. Only those driven mad by fear at the hidden throne of this realm would seek to hide among those corrupted abominations.
What is this place you speak of? Speak, or the stimulus will be increased further.
The Noctis Labyrinth of Mars itself. Ha! I see you blanch at that name. Even in this benighted corner of the machine god's realm, you know of it.
Once again you lie. Those minds were contaminated in the Great Purge. All know that exposure means death to metal or flesh. Cease your blasphemies and speak truly.
Forever see the truth soon enough. The star gods return.
Why did you attempt to pass through the gates of Val? We ask again, why did you attempt to pass through the gates of Val? Speak! Your attempt to enter that region means your life is forfeit no matter whether you confess or not. To continue your silence only continues your pain. Speak and unburden yourself. Transcript ends.
You have been listening to Codex Necrons, 3rd edition, page 49, by Andy Chambers. Narrated by R.J. Bailey. If you've enjoyed this, please leave a review on iTunes, or like, share and subscribe on YouTube, depending how you're listening. Thank you to Andy Chambers for writing the fiction that I grew up with. Thank you to Graham McNeill for helping attribute the right authors to their individual stories. This production, like all of Oldex, is entirely unofficial and uncommercial, from an out-of-print publication, is a derivative work with all copyrights owned by Games Workshop, and is a celebration of the hobby and lore I grew up with. If you have suggestions for other old Codex fiction for me to narrate on this podcast, you can comment, contact me on Twitter at rjbailey, or email robertjbailey@gmail.com. Links are in the show description. If you'd like to donate an old codex that I don't have access to, please get in touch so we can discuss postage options. You can follow Graham McNeill on Twitter at Graham McNeill, and you can find his website at graham-mcneil.com.